Hey, good morning, guys. This is Daniel from Fantasy Boom. Welcome. Thanks for watching our video. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe if we bring you value and you like this video. Today is game one of the Western Conference Finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets have home court advantage, so we're going to be starting the series off there. Now, yesterday was game one between the Celtics and the Cavs, and I advised caution to start the series because we don't know exactly how teams are going to defend each other. We can only guess and speculate, but we don't know exactly. Now, these teams have played each other 3 times this year, and it's a little more concentrated, at least on the Houston side, which we know where the offense is going to come from. On the Golden State side, it can be a little tough, but what I went ahead and did is I went and looked at the stats from this season from when these two teams played each other, and I looked at the fantasy points per game scored for all 8 of these guys at home, in Golden State, and then in Houston. So we're going to go through each one and reference those stats, and then I'm going to give my predictions on how everyone's going to do in this game one, and then we'll take what happens in game one and the game plans that we utilize in game one, and then use them moving forward for the rest of the games of the series. All right, let's do it. First, we got Kevin Durant. His number is 53.4 FanDuel points. And for those who are just watching this video for the first time, this is Predict Picks. And instead of your typical Draft Kings or FanDuel where you pick 8 or 9 guys under a salary cap and try to make a lineup, with this, it's a lot more simple. You pick a player and you decide whether or not this player is going to go over their projected number or under. So in this case, you got to figure out, is Kevin Durant going to go over 53.4 FanDuel points or under? That's all. And you do that for 2, 3, or 4 guys. Moving on. This season, Durant averaged 44 FanDuel points at Houston, and he averaged 41 at home. I would like to note that one of those games he also did not play. That was on the road. So in one game he had 44 points at Houston. His totals is at 53, and this is Durant. Obviously he can go past that. But my projection is that today he actually goes under, and I think there's another Warrior who's gonna do really, really well today, and we'll get to him a little later. So I like Kevin Durant under here. Then you got Clint Capella. This is actually one of my favorite plays because I like when a player has obvious splits, because that says something about that player, and obviously it's a pattern when it shows itself over and over and over again. So Capella averages 35 FanDuel points at home versus the Warriors. All right, but on the road versus the Warriors in Golden State, he averages 21. That is that's pretty stark, and that's a really, really big split. So here's what we're gonna do. I like Clint Capella under, just because I know he's been playing well versus the Jazz, but he's got Draymond Green guarding him, and as well as, what the heck is his name, JaVale McGee. Are they going to be playing JaVale McGee a lot of minutes? I'm not sure, but we do know that Draymond Green most likely will spend a lot of time on Clint Capella, and as we know, Draymond Green is no bitch. So I like Clint Capella under. James Harden, his number is 57.9. He averaged 42 FanDuel points at home and 51 on the road in Golden State. He had a really weak close to the series with Utah. Chris Paul was one who closed strong in those last couple games. But this is James Harden, and he can go off at any moment. But his number is fairly high. So I'm going to go under. James Harden under 57.9, just because his numbers this season don't look the best versus Golden State. And he did not close very well versus Utah. He averaged pretty much 30 FanDuel points a game over the last 2 or 3 games versus Utah. And that's not what you want to see coming into a series like this. Then we got Chris Paul. Chris Paul, man, his numbers were actually kind of shocking to me. He averaged 54 FanDuel points at home versus the Warriors, and on the road in Golden State, he averaged 37. Now, those 54 points came off of some really good games. He had a 62 FanDuel point game and a 50 FanDuel point game. So he did it on multiple occasions. So this is interesting taking the over possibly on this. And the other reason why I would like taking the over on Chris Paul is because he closed that Utah series very strong, very, very strong. In one game, he had 60 FanDuel points, and in the other, I think he almost had 80. I mean, he had an unbelievable game, game 4 and 5 to close out the series versus Utah. So he's coming into this series confident, and he's coming into this series hot. So I actually like Chris Paul over because of those two things. Next, we got Klay Thompson. I'm not going to say anything negative about him in this video. He averages, we know he has splits, okay? And I've talked about these splits before, but he averages 26 FanDuel points at Houston this season, and then at home in Golden State, he averaged 39 fantasy points. So, very, very glaring split there. You're talking about 13 fantasy points, but that's just been him. He shoots a lot better at home, and he shoots worse on the road. He's a shooter. That's what he does. He doesn't rebound the ball very much. He doesn't get very many assists. He just shoots. I like him to go under 33.1 because of that. He did all right last series, but I know this game is going to be high paced too. It's going to be a lot of shots going up from both sides. Excuse me. I like him under. Draymond Green is probably my favorite play here on the Warriors side. He averaged 48 FanDuel points on the road at Houston this year, and 40 FanDuel points at home in Golden State this year. So he loves playing on the road, and it showed in his game log. So I like Draymond Green over 44 points today, and he had a really good series last series, and I think he keeps that up into this series as well. Eric Gordon is a weird bench guy because he comes off the bench, but he gets a lot of minutes. He gets almost 30 minutes a game off the bench. He just shoots and shoots and shoots and shoots again. That's what this guy does. And he's not even bashful about it. That's he admitted it in the interview. My job is to shoot, take open shots, make them. And he averaged 35 FanDuel points at home versus Golden State this series, and 34 FanDuel points on the road in Golden State. He apparently plays very well versus Golden State, is what my research showed. And if that's the case, this number's too low. So Eric Gordon, I like this guy to go over 24.7 today for us. And then our last guy is Steph Curry himself. Eric Gordon, his picture, he's slanted from the side. It looks like a graduation picture. It looks kind of funny. No one else is like that. Okay, anyway. Steph Curry, his total is 48.9. He averaged 40 points at Houston when he played him this season, and 35 FanDuel points at home in Golden State. So, obviously, we know it's Steph Curry. He takes a tremendous amount of shots, and he makes a tremendous amount of shots most times. He's probably the best shooter in the league right now. That being said, I think he goes under his total again. I don't know if you guys watched the video from yesterday, first game of the series with the Cleveland and Boston. It was an under fest. Kevin Love went under like I predicted. LeBron James went under like I predicted. And yeah, I picked Marcus Smart and Terry Rozier over. Those were two guys I like to go over, but they also went under. Only two people went over in that game, and that was Al Horford and that was Jaylen Brown. Everyone else went under. So that I actually went back and looked, and it's very common for the first game of a series for players to go under. So I'm going to take Curry under, Gordon over, just because he's going to be getting a lot of minutes, and he's performed very well all year. Draymond Green over, because we know he does a lot of everything. Even if he only scores 9 points, he can grab 12 rebounds, dish out 10 assists, and get 2 blocks and 2 steals, and he's got 50 FanDuel points just right there alone. Klay Thompson under, very shooting dependent, and he doesn't shoot well on the road. Chris Paul over, because he does well at home versus the Warriors for one, but he's coming off a blistering series versus Utah where he closed really, really strong and scored some major FanDuel points. James Harden under. His total is really, really high. Clint Capella under because he's going to be guarded by Draymond Green, and Kevin Durant under. So those are the plays I like for today. My favorite for the day, my absolute favorite, are going to be Gordon over, Draymond over. I'm going to go under Kevin Durant, under Clint Capella, and then under James Harden. These 5 are probably the ones that I'll end up playing the most of. If you do not have an account at PredictPicks, it's really easy to get one. All you do is go to predictpicks.com. All right. And as you can see here, they are in private beta mode, so you need an invite to play. So click here and say where it says I was invited by a friend. First name, last name, email, invite code is going to be 01283. Password twice. Yes, you're 18 years old, and then you hit sign up. Now, when you first sign up, you're going to get a free 3-player pick on them, and you're going to have the chance to win $25 with it. So what that means is you're going to be able to pick any 3 guys to go over or under, and if you get it right, you win $25 cash. Very straightforward. So in this case, let's say we did Capella under, Durant under, James Harden under. So let's say we went these 3 guys. You select 3 of them. It has to be 3, can't be 2, can't be 4. It has to be 3. Hit go. So here on this page now is where you pick over or under for each guy. So Durant under, Capella under, James Harden under. So in this space, it's going to say, when you get here, it's going to say free is what it's going to say. And then to win, it's not going to say non, it's actually going to say 25. So it's going to say free to win $25. So that's what it's going to say when you get here. And at this point, you just pick your 3 over under and then hit go. And that places your bet. And then you're ready to roll after that. Really, really easy to play. This is a much easier version of fantasy to play than FanDuel or Draft Kings, because you just do a little bit of research and figure out, how these players fare against each other based on the data they showed you during the regular season, and pick over or under. That's it. It's a lot easier to play, and you pick any 2, 3, or 4 guys. That's simple. When a new series starts, we want to be careful because we don't know if any tendencies are going to switch from the regular season into the playoff series. We don't know if they're going to roll out different game plans against each other. We don't know. So we're going to look at game 1. I know I'm going to watch the game, and I'm going to look and see what I observe, and I'll bring that knowledge back for game 2, for the picks for game 2 for everyone here. So that's what I got for the day, guys. Thanks so much for checking out the video and for staying until the end. Tomorrow's video will be out for Cleveland-Boston game 2, and I'm going to be doing one for MLB now. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.